Well, the valley is rich in history, and rooted deep in our culture is the riverboat period of South Texas.
Cameron County Historical Commissioner Eugene Fernandez brings us the story in this week's Throwback Thursday.
We're at a spot in history, time travelers, that's one of my favorites. It is about as romantic as you can get. It's what's called the riverboat period of South Texas. Well, we're talking about the romance of the river. That conjures up visions in all of our minds of Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer. It did in mine. And you think about how the riverboats went up and down the Mississippi and the Ohio and all of that. Well, that's part of the color that was here. But how many photos do we have of the riverboats? I can't believe it. These riverboats would have been a fascinating subject for a photographer to capture, but we only have a handful of them. We missed that period in our history. The first boats that came on this river were back in 1540, and that was during the Spanish conquest period by the explorer Coronado. After that, the first real registered movement on the river was a very interesting story. It was by a man by the name of Henry Austin. Now, if Austin sounds familiar, yes, it is. It's Stephen F. Austin's cousin. In 1829, mind you, he came up the mouth of the river. Now, he was being talked to by his cousin, formulating the East Texas colonies, 1821, 1824. But he was much more adventuresome a soul. So he came up the river, 1829, and he went up 300 miles up the river to Revilla, if you can imagine that. He had a stern wheel steamboat, and he could barely make it up. But you've got to bear in mind, at that point in time, back in the 1820s or so, the river was much higher than it is today. As the farming and all of the developments out west took place, you had a 3-foot drop from the 1840s up until the time of the Civil War. Now, that restricted a lot of river traffic. The real heyday for riverboat traffic started in 1846. That's when Zachary Taylor came in with all of his expedition in order to define a hard border for the United States and for Texas, which was in the Union at that time. The government, once the Mexican-American War started, set out a requisition for 30 steamboats in order to carry the troops and do all of the logistics to get up the river to Camargo, because there were no roads going up the river, and he wanted to go into the interior of Mexico. After the war was over, and we're off into the period of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, 1848. That's when the government had no more need for the riverboats that were here. And who bought them all? The financier for all of that was Charles Stillman. And his two partners were the ones that originally came down with the quartermaster's service. That was Mifflin Kennedy and Richard King, both captains. Now, Mifflin Kennedy was really the forerunner of all of this movement. But it was Mifflin Kennedy that was the master, and then you had King as another subservient in that whole pecking order. At the time of the Mexican-American War, after that was over, then all the way up into the time of the Civil War, there was an immense amount of traffic on this river because you had a lot of development of the western expansion. It was what's called the Manifest Destiny push for the West. The steamboats were the lifeline, carrying all of this commerce and back and forth along the river for the ranchers that began their establishments up the river, and also the little colony of Brownsville that was taking place at that time. Riverboat traffic lasted about 60 years on this river. That is a lengthy period of time for any river in the United States. But it actually came to a screeching halt in 1906. There was the steamboat Bessie that was captained by William Kelly, and that riverboat made its last stop at Roma, Rio Grande City area in 1906. Now, why was that? Two reasons. One is the river was silting in. The farmers up the river had cultivated the land, and all of that alluvial wash was coming down in the river, and it was building it up. And secondly, the irrigation was taking the water away. Thirdly, you had the coming in of the railroad, 1904. So there was no reason to go up a lengthy river. This river made a lot of money for a lot of people. The two figures that stand out in a lot of people's mind reading about the history are Captain Kennedy and Captain King. Once they left their business here, they went off inland and they started their ranches. And the rest is history. For KVEO News, I'm Eugene Fernandez.